All right, Ernie. I think the charge against the two, it is certainly a coincidence that the two who you say have kids that are working for the city would vote with the mayor on the asphalt plant. I would say that would be more of a coincidence. I find it hard to believe that they gave up all of their votes so their kids could get a job. I think that's a stretch.
I mean, I have my opinion. You have your opinion.
But
and the people of Utica have their opinion.
But I think
and this is a very large conflict.
But you're bringing up a very good point. It's opinion. It is not fact. And you've been presenting it as if it's been fact, and I think it's opinion. Well, I know it's opinion. Because you weren't there. You weren't a fly on the wall. Somebody could have told you.
No, or you would have hit me with that
matter.
fly swatter.
You're right.
Swatter.
Okay, what else do you have in that? Just give me the good stuff, because
the good stuff. How about if
I can't go all the way to the
How
bottom
about if
of
I have
your
a building at 919 Bleecker Street that's been closed for 3 years?
Okay.
Now,
who owns the building? Somebody owns it? Does the city own the building?
Nope, somebody owns it.
Okay.
And by the city's
rules,
don't
throw names out, please.
And I won't throw any names.
Okay.
By the city's rules, it should revert back to its original use if it's closed for 6 months.
All right.
Well, of course, I pulled that file also. Its original use was a 6-unit apartment building.
Okay.
Then it was reduced down to 4 for the store.
So it's a store.
It's a store called, it was Family Grocery, now it's called Bleecker Express. Now, the chief building inspector went in there and issued it a building permit, he says, back in February or March of this year, and that the store was open. Well, I told him the store was closed, and of course, he thinks he's right. So what I did is, he didn't know that convenience stores are controlled by the Department of Agriculture.
Okay,
so I went to the Department of Agriculture. Of course, I contacted Urban and Economics and told them about it, and they said it has to go to zoning. Well, then he went in there and said, oh, no, the store's open, the store's open. Well, when I talked to the Department of Agriculture and Markets, Penny was her name in Syracuse for food processing, in charge of licensing these convenience stores. The license was pulled from the store, personally pulled by the Department of Agriculture on July of 2014.
What are you doing on Saturday, by the way? What are you doing Saturday?
I haven't checked my calendar.
Because I think I'd like to get you and the mayor to arm wrestle. Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah,
How
at
about
the Guys
that?
Expo.
Come
that
on.
would.
Do you really want me
What's
to-
the issue with this?
Where are
that
we
you said?
going here?
Where are we going with this?
Is it procedural? Procedures not being followed?
Well, when you take something, okay, and you tell everybody else in the city that has to go to zoning and they get turned down because you have a moratorium on convenience stores, okay, and then you have your city officials go in there and open them up without sending them to zoning?
Yeah.
By actually lying? I mean, I've got everybody around the area that signed petitions that said the store's closed.
Okay.
It should have went to zoning.
Okay, so we've got a procedural issue here. They're not following procedure.
Sure it is.
Okay.
When you've got a city employee that doesn't have an ROP done on his house, when you've got missing electrical permits, missing plumbing permits to a new construction on a building on Bleecker Street.
But the person
or
in
when
control
you've
of the
got-
records has got to love Ernie.
Or that you've got a property where a building is built right next to a building inspector's house, where all of a sudden it gets a 2-car garage behind it, but it never gets a building permit. It gets windows, porches, but it never gets a building permit. Oh, come on here.
All right.
This is how we're running the city?
And
when you don't have control in departments?
Yeah.
The devil's
Giving
advocate.
me the look like I did it.
Devil's advocate here. When you say this is how we're running the city, someone might say, well, someone putting a porch on a garage is not really a...
It's not a porch on a garage. It's literally a 2-stall garage that was slid from a property of a construction site and put right behind a building inspector's former house. Okay, but there's no building permit. Now, when you put a shed in the city, you have to have a building permit. We're talking a 2-stall garage. When you're talking concrete sidewalks...
And you know that there was no... Here's the thing, though. You know there was no building permit, or you just didn't get it in your FOIL?
No.
Well,
I know there
he
was no
didn't
building
FOIL.
permit, because when they do a building permit, they have to type it
Okay,
in
all right.
to the system, and then it shows up in the history.
Okay, he's showing the TV cameras
Okay.
the history.
And there's no history.
All right.
Okay, there's no history of plumbing or electrical permits either.
Pick your best, because the mayor will be on next hour, and I got to try to sort through all this
I've called
stuff.
his office several times.
I'm sure you have.
No return phone
I'm
calls.
so
shocked.
surprised.
$22,000 a year raise, and I don't get
Shocked.
phone calls.
Yeah. Well, you're a resident. I understand, but I'm not sure I would want to call you back either.
Why?
Because I just think that you're throwing bombs, and
These aren't
I'm
bombs.
not surprised. Yeah.
These aren't bombs.
I understand. Listen, the problem is the way we're going about this. You're just throwing all of this at once. It's not one issue.
Well, no.
And I understand you have
I called him for a meeting on the same issue.
Okay.
Okay, to address this issue.
Right.
Never got a return phone call to address these issues.
I think we have to have the opportunity of the mayor the opportunity to speak on these. He'll be on next hour. So pick your best one left, and I'll. Do you have one left that's worth talking about? That's big.
Well, how about that I have one where the...
All right, hold on. I got a break. It's 7:48. We'll come right back, and your time is now limited. I can only give you another minute or two. Okay.